You're listening to the Productive Therapist Podcast, the world's greatest and most brilliant resource for busy therapists who'd rather be laying on a beach in Hawaii. Each episode is packed with simple tips and inspiring insights from the Productive Therapist team to help you grow your practice and have fun doing it. So without further ado, let's help you get more done and have more fun.
Hello and welcome back to the Productive Therapist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And if you have been enjoying this podcast, I would love for you to leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you leave a review, I will give you a shout out in a future episode. And today I want to shout out DFK MFT. It says, essential listening for therapists. Listening to this podcast has really helped fill in the gaps on the business aspects of running a practice that weren't covered in grad school. The information and insights from this podcast helped me from when I was a solo practitioner to running a group practice. Thanks to Uriah and all your guests for the help with running a successful practice as a psychotherapist. That's amazing. Thank you so much, DFK MFT. So today I had a really short but super fun and valuable conversation with my good friend Kym Tolson. And if you haven't heard of Kym, she is the mastermind behind the Traveling Therapist podcast, Bill Like a Boss, and the Clinical AI Club. And today we're talking about how to choose and use AI note writing tools for your clinical sessions. So I hope you enjoyed this awesome episode with Kym Tolson. Have a good one. Hello, Kym. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I can't believe it's taken us this long to have these conversations.
How is that we have not recorded a podcast yet?
But we are here. We are here today.
Yes,
and I'm honestly glad that we're doing this and that we're recording it, because this is a conversation I've wanted to have with you for a while, because I'll give you some props. When I think about or hear about therapists using artificial intelligence tools, I immediately think about you. You're like my go-to person. So yeah, good job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I was one of the first to really embrace it and try to then just start bringing it to the therapist community, introducing them to it. Yeah.
You really did. And we'll give you a chance to tell people about how they can take advantage of that too.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Good stuff. Okay, so we're talking about AI note-taking tools. And if somebody's listening to this and they're like, what is that? Mm-hmm. On the off chance somebody has not ever heard of this, please tell us what are these tools and how do they function? Generally
so there's different tools. There's one called ChatGPT, which is my favorite. And when we say note-taking tools, there's different ways to do this. So ChatGPT would be one where you just type in a quick little summary of what happened in the session. You can even dictate it now into ChatGPT, but it's not HIPAA compliant. So you would not want to put any PHI or anything like that into ChatGPT, but it can generate really good notes. You can say, I'm a therapist, I specialize in CBT. Quickly turn this into a SOAP note for me that meets medical necessity. You could put that prompt into ChatGPT and have a note in 2 seconds, which is amazing. And then there's a whole new breed of AI programs that are coming out. And one I'm partnered with, and I'm actually the clinical consultant for, is Berries, Berries. They're amazing. They're HIPAA compliant. You record the session and then click of a button, it turns it into an amazing progress note for you. And you're done. You copy, paste it into your EHR, and that's it. It erases the recording, and then it keeps just the note for you for 30 days, and then it even deletes that after 30 days to keep it super HIPAA compliant.
So these tools are solving one of therapists' biggest pain points, which is clinical documentation. Nobody loves, almost nobody loves to take notes. We love to do therapy, but we don't necessarily love to do the notes. So this solves that in one way or another, right? That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Berries, I think next week, they're coming out with a treatment plan solution. So now it's going to take the progress note it just wrote. It's going to turn it into a treatment plan. It's going to store the treatment plan under the client's initials or however you want to keep it. And then every time you write a progress note, it's going to update your treatment plan for you with AI. So you don't even have to do that.
What? This almost makes me jealous.
Why did they have this? I know. It's why did they have this?
Therapists who are, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. This makes me jealous and want to start seeing clients again, just so I can use all the cool tools.
Seriously, it's unbelievable. And being a clinical consultant on it is so cool, because I'm just here's what I wanted to do, make it do that. And they're like, okay. And they just create these different things. It's amazing. They even have a button where it's patient email. You click the button, it turns the session into an email that you directly send to the client, and it summarizes what you talked about in the session. and, what the homework assignments were, what the plan is to, for the next week until you see the client again, basically. And
I
it's
like
like
that very much. Yeah.
so easy. Yeah.
Okay, so a couple quick questions for you. So,
Okay.
is there a distinction between AI note writing tools that record the session and ones that do not? Is that a distinction worth making?
My opinion, it is, because why wouldn't you just want it to record it? Then you don't even
Hmm.
have to input the information. Some of them you can dictate, but most of them that don't have the recording option, you have to like literally still type in the note into the system and then it turns it into a note. So to me, that doesn't save a lot of time, is my thought. So the recording to me is so much easier. You don't even,
Sure.
like when you used to write notes, right? It was pretty stressful. There's like vicarious trauma even from like having to rewrite about a traumatic session or something like that. With Berries and all these other note writing platforms, you don't even really have to think about it again. I mean, you go over the note, you read it, it's like, yeah, does that make sense? What they said? Yeah, cool, done. Instead of like even having to retype it or even think about a short blurb to put into something that's then going to use AI to
Hmm.
turn it into a note. So in my opinion, it's a huge distinction, and I would never not want to use it ever again for recording my sessions.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
would I would agree with you on that one. And if I was to come back and have a second life as a working therapist, I would for sure do that 100%.
Yes.
But I know that even I think about this, and I'm sure you have, but a lot of
Mhm.
therapists are concerned about this safety and security of that.
Yeah.
What do you recommend to overcome that, or how to just consider that?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, those are like some free AIs out there. Just review like what is PHI. There's like 18 PHI
Hmm.
points that you should be paying attention to. Go review that. Make sure basically whatever you put in that you would not be able to identify who that client is. If they were your neighbor and you read this, would you know? Like that kind of thing. Like ask yourself that question a little bit. And then for these note writing tools, just check, do a little research. Is it HIPAA compliant? Why is it HIPAA compliant? What type of security are they using on the back end? Barry's is getting ready to get their SOC 2 security certification, which is even higher than HIPAA. They're also getting the Canadian privacy. I can't think of the name of the Canadian
Okay.
HIPAA. It's like HIPAA. They've got that going on. So meet with these companies and say, explain to me, why this is HIPAA compliant. How
Sure.
can you guarantee it's HIPAA compliant? Because most of them use, ChatGPT or an open language model in the background, but they've got a lot of security measures built in. So it's not going back out and then training the AI, because that's what
Sure.
ChatGPT does. Anything you put in, it goes back out and the AI is like learning from our input. So I mean, technically, it's like if you put in too much PHI or something, like maybe it might come up in somebody else's search about something, if it's an open AI source like that doesn't have HIPAA compliance in the
Sure.
background.
So do your
Yeah,
research and find a company you can trust. Okay, that makes sense. Are
exactly.
there
Yeah.
any other downsides besides the possibility of safety and security kind of issues? Are there any downsides to using these tools?
Not that I have found really. I mean, of course, everything's biased, right? So even
Hmm.
ChatGPT or even an open AI model is somewhat biased because it's giving you information based on its own training. And of course, it's sourced from the internet. So the internet is biased. So you might want to just read through it and make sure it reflects like your values and that sort of thing in your practice, because it might say something you're like, no, that's not even what I'm talking about. Because it does have this thing where it like will hallucinate information,
Hmm.
is what they call it. It'll just like come up. So if it's writing a progress note and you didn't say anything about like the objective in your little blurb, it'll make stuff up. It'll interpret just what you put. It'll
Creative
say,
AI.
well, this
Yes.
person's probably super tangential too. It'll add stuff in like that. So you have to pay attention to that. Even with berries and the other AI programs I've tried, it'll, there's a blank in where something's supposed to go in the mental status exam. It's going to make something up,
Sure.
sometimes. So you have to just go back over it. You have to always read back over this stuff, I guess would be the precaution there. Yeah,
That makes sense. It's not foolproof to be left alone. That makes sense.
exactly. Yeah.
I watched your video recently where you were showing how in Barry's how to set or create a favorite note and then reuse that and tweak it from session to session. I thought that was pretty clever.
It's amazing. You can
Yeah.
literally, if you have like, we all have bought progress note templates from somebody. I think most therapists have. They've got their favorite therapist that writes really good notes and they have a template and they bought the template. So you can take that template and just go edit your last session and put, change everything to reflect how you want the template to be, and you save it. And then every time you go back in to do a session, you just make sure you're using that format, and it changes it to that format. It fills in all the boxes and everything in your favorite note, which is amazing to me.
I think that's so cool. So I've been around long enough. I started my private practice. Well, I started seeing clients in 2001 and started my private practice in 2008. And in the early
Yeah.
days, I definitely did all my notes on paper. I did have a template that I printed out over and over and over again to write notes. But it's
Yes.
just amazing to come from
Photocopy.
that. Yes, right.
I used to have a clipboard and I'd have like
Oh my gosh.
photocopy.
Yeah. It's just amazing how far things have come. I'm just astounded by it. It's really cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so I have
Yeah.
to ask you this, and I know you're a clinical consultant for berries, and that's your favorite one. But I did a little bit of research, and I just find things on the internet, and I compile lists for myself, and then sometimes I share them. So I've been
Yeah. I
kind of
love that.
tracking down all the AI note writing tools that I can find, and then I did a little bit more research recently, and I found up to 16. I'm sure that's not all of them by
Yeah.
any means, and some of
Hmm.
these are primarily meant for medical scribing, but then they say, it works for mental health as well. Some of them are behavioral health specific. So
Yes.
like there's a lot of options, like there always is. How do therapists choose the best one for them when a lot of them do something similar? What's your thoughts?
I would say sign up for the free trials,
Hmm.
see which one feels the most intuitive to you, because, they all have different interfaces. I've tried a lot of them too. They all have different interfaces. So I would say just go in and play around with it. Um, of course, if you're going to actually try it with a client, make sure you have informed consent with your client. I should have said that earlier, but
Hmm.
Bears, for example, all of them have some sort of like consent that you can download and give to your clients and explain this will be recording in the background. Here's how
Okay.
I'm going to use your information. AI is involved and all that stuff. So I would just say do the free trials. Like Barry has 20 free sessions, and they give you 10 free sessions every single month, and you never even have to put a credit card in.
Hmm.
Just make sure you get that consent. But you can even in Barry's, I don't know about the other ones, but you can dictate. So you can just pretend that you're having a session. And that video you're talking about, I sort of pretend I had a
Right.
session and I just sort of dictated with the record button. I was like, met with Susie and we, talked about her anxiety and how to resolve it. And she did deep breathing and it worked, something like that. And I just, stop recording and it turns it into a note that way. So you could even practice, in some of these free ones and just see which one you like the best. Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
great.
Yeah.
So what do you think are the odds that, for example, Simple Practice buys one of these companies or
Oh,
makes their own? It's going to happen, right?
yeah. This is yeah. I'm waiting for it. I already saw that Alma's another one of my partners, by the way. Alma has connected with Upheal, and I saw that they were releasing
Oh,
a beta feature. So I think it's just a matter of time before all of them have got this built in the background. Really, I do. Now, how good it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it might
sure.
be sort of like simplistic, but eventually I would hope that they'd be able to like pull in like the PHQ-9 measures that you did and your old treatment plan and be able to pull that in and just have it do a really sophisticated analysis of all of that for you.
Right.
Even predictive analysis in the future is what I'm seeing people talk a lot about, that we've got all this data now and it's in a HIPAA compliant environment. Now let's do some predictive analysis. How likely is it if they do deep breathing 3 times a week that they're going to decrease their anxiety levels? Or behavior I'm seeing reported in these notes is looking like they're getting ready to
Hmm.
have a relapse, because of everything. There's a relapse coming. We've got to put some measures in place that can stop this, and having the AI doing all that in the background. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine an EHR not figuring out
Right.
how to put
They're all
this in there.
planning. They're all trying to
Yeah,
figure it out right now.
they've got to be.
I think it's going
If
to be
I
great
had one,
because,
I would.
yeah, if you're already doing your telehealth sessions in your EHR, whatever that might be, it just
Right.
makes sense that you would want to have that note writing and AI assisted note writing built in there. I know
Exactly.
it's probably somewhat controversial in 2024, but I'm all for the AI assisted therapist. I think if artificial intelligence can help a therapist do better work, get better outcomes, and
Mhm.
also streamline their operations so that they can enjoy their life, like let's go. Sign
Exactly.
me
And
up.
avoid burnout, and you're going to be
All
healthier
those
for your
things.
clients. Like
Yeah.
the trickle down effect of this is going to be amazing.
Yeah. And two things to know, we don't need to get into this today, but I'm guessing that these notes are going to be more audit proof for insurance because they're just better, right?
Right.
Makes sense. And then also, this would be like if I was going to start my group practice over again today, or if I was I'm sort of winding my group practice down. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
But if that wasn't the case, I would be for sure implementing one of these tools to save time for my clinicians on note writing, and specifically helping train, associate therapists to write better notes. But then my mind goes like, well, if associate therapists or pre-licensed folks start using these tools, will they not get the skills of manually writing good clinical notes? I don't know. That might be a trade-off.
Exactly. So I two group practices have contacted me about berries, and I followed up with them and I was like, did you decide to sign up? One said, heck yes, we signed up. The other said, I'm not ready to bring it in for the exact same reason that you said, because she has a lot of really young therapists in her group practice and she doesn't want them to not understand what goes into writing a progress note. So I was like, I get that. Yeah.
You know what I would do? And
I'm just go ahead.
Thinking off the top of my head here, I would probably I would have them do 6 months of supervision with manual note writing and then turn on AI assisted note writing. I think that would be nice.
Smart.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing. Could you imagine if your employer just like paid for your AI and you're like, finish your notes in 2 seconds. You don't even have to like do it on the weekends or in the evenings. Like I used to have to do,
And then if your notes are not up to date, then like, what's your excuse?
Exactly. There are no excuses.
Oh my goodness. Well, this was so fun. I know this is a super fast conversation, but I know you have a lot more resources and ways for people to get more tips and wisdom from you on this topic. Where can they go to find that?
Yeah. So I have a free Facebook group called Run Your Private Practice with AI. And then I started something called the Clinical AI Club. It's super affordable. It's $9 a month, but every single month I drop a new module about different things you can do with AI to run your private practice. And we have like a monthly implementation session for 90 minutes. We get together. We just like really geek out about AI in private practice. And people be like, I've tried to do this. How do we do it? And we'll like problem solve and figure it out together. So that's a really fun session. And then every other month I have like an intro to AI class that I do for people that are brand new to AI. So people really like that too. And then the opposite month, we have a co-working session. Just to like get in the modules and do the work and ask me questions. I just kind of hang out and people ask me, well, how do I do this? And, I help them. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. $9 a month. Go sign up now. Link is in the show notes. Just do it. Awesome. Thank you, Kym. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, thank you.
That's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and hit the subscribe button to make sure you never miss an episode. If you're looking for more personalized help, you can reach us through productivetherapist.com. Thanks so much for listening. We are Productive Therapist, and this is the podcast that helps therapists get more done and have more fun.